Let us pray to our Guru. Om Akhandamandalakaram Vyaptam Jena Characharam Tat Padam Darshitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Hari Om. I bow down to that Guru who makes me realize that infinity which is pervading everywhere. So with this pranam mantra to Guru, I am happy to welcome all of you for the second day of my stay here in Zurich. The Zurich Vedanta Study Circle group invited me to come here for a short, non-residential type of a retreat. That's how I am here before you. And yesterday we met about 10-11 devotees were here. We talked with each other. It was a nice thing. Today is a very special day because today, as you know, in southern states we have the New Year Day, Yugadi. And also today is the first day in North India, the first day of the Chaiti Navaratri. So Navaratri begins today. So it's a very holy atmosphere that we got it at Santu's house, and we had the opportunity to perform Sri Ramakrishna's puja, who was a great devotee of Divine Mother. That Divine Mother's night worship starts today. So it's a very holy occasion. So I thought I will meet the devotees here and talk to them. So Vansi had requested that after the puja, you may talk about the puja. But I will only give you a brief introduction about what puja is. And I would love to have any questions that you have or remarks about puja, or whether it is its utility in the modern days, etc. If you want to ask, you can ask these questions. So, I am putting this whole puja in a proper context as defined by Swami Vivekananda. Vivekananda says, any faith, whatever faith that one person has, or a group of people having a particular type of faith, cannot become a religion. That words I am using, religion, that cannot be. Why? Because to become a religion or to be called as religion, that faith must have 3 phases in its development. All the 3 phases are included, then only that particular faith can evolve as religion. Otherwise it can never evolve. So I will tell you the examples now. There are many faiths are there which have remained as faiths only, which could not become a religion, so-called religion. So what is that speciality of the word religion that it makes it so important to us? So Vivekananda points out that to be called a religion, that faith must have 3 distinct features. The first feature is philosophy. Does the religion has a philosophy of life? The questions arise in our mind that after spending a few years doing our life, suddenly you ask, what is life? What is going to happen? Now I have reached already 70 years. So what is the life for me? And what all I look back and think that youngsters, of course, they have much more to look for the future. So they may say that, yes, life is still there. But for old people, just ask them, what is life for you? They say, yes, I grew up, I had a very good job, I earned a lot, I enjoyed the life. And now at this age, my own senses are failing me. I cannot enjoy the world that I enjoyed 30 years back. What is life for me? This question comes in the mind of people. So the moment the questions arise about what is life, what is the purpose of our birth, and where are we going finally? These questions will torment us one day if you don't take care of it in the early age. If you have not got answer to these questions are going to come to us in the later days, and they will, as I say, they will become so large, loom large, as they say, and stand before us, and we will not have any answer at that time. So, the religion must have a philosophy of life. So how the thousands and millions of people are stuck to religions? It is because religion is the greatest force in the world. Wherever you see all over the world, the religion has got a great force. And that force comes because it has a philosophy of life. So it must answer these questions. If any faith doesn't answer these questions, doesn't have a philosophy, then that religion is no more religion. It is only a matter of faith. That's all. So second point, Swami Vivekananda says, philosophy is high. And we are thinking about so many problems of life. But then all those problems, etc., have to be understood. There are many problems in our life. We are unable to cope up with those problems because we are lacking in one respect. What is that we are lacking? We do not know how to understand the life in the practical way. So what does teach in the religion, that segment of religion that can teach us the practicality of life? And that is called mythology. A religion must have philosophy, and number two, mythology. In mythology, what happens? Myths. We call it myths. Myths are always imaginary. Is it not? That's what people say. The Western psychology is considered myth as an imaginary happenings. How can something happen? The happening means it must be real. So in imagination something happens, and that becomes real. And the reality is what we have to face. Mahabharata is one of the beautiful kavya, you can say, or itihasa. We call it itihasa. And that Mahabharata has got all types of characters. From the noblest of the noble to the vilest of the vilest. You have all types of characters in that story. And if you see that your character is reflected in some character of the Mahabharata, what you are. So that person's battles in life are very much similar to your battles in your life. So it tries to make you grasp what are you, where you are standing, and how you are going to take steps to proceed further. So mythology is an important concept of religion. Third important aspect of religion, which is necessary for every religion to be called religion, is ritualism. Rituals. The rituals are great, potent factor for the masses. May not be very useful for the top levels of thinking people. But if you go to the mass level, then rituals must be there. If you divest of religion, divest of rituals, and you try to take it to the people, well, people will not accept it. It may be a faith followed by a few thousands, but it can never become a religion of the masses because it doesn't have ritualism. So rituals play a very bigger part than the previous two aspects of religion. And you can see that maximum number of people are prone to rituals only. So if so many of the lower classes of people are to be brought into religious fold, you must have certain rituals for them. So what we did today, the puja, is nothing but a form of rituals. These rituals I am sitting and doing, and others of all of you are sitting and watching it, and perhaps you are also mentally doing it along with me if you know the procedure. Even if you don't know the procedure, you simply watch what is being done. So you are all participating in this ritualism. So what is this significance of this puja? So this ritualism, what is the purpose of ritualism? Ritualism is supposed to take you to higher levels of existence in your life. So by doing some rituals, if I can make myself better from the previous position, then the ritual has helped me. So in all the three aspects, there are dangers also. Most of the people you find are stuck with the ritualism. They are unable to go. That type of people come to us. I have been moving around the world and I am seeing people, when people I talk to them, they are, what is the problem? I find they are stuck to the rituals portions. Say you go to temples. That is a practice that is part of rituals. You go to temple and go around 3 times or Navagraha 9 times. All those things we do in a temple. Particularly if you go to South Indian temple, you have a lot of things to do. And how many times you have to do the done baita, getting down and getting up. You have to do a lot of pranams. So you find that because the gods and goddesses in various forms manifesting one God, that he manifests in different forms, and all those forms are kept because I like this particular form and you like that other form. So for all of us, so a temple gives an opportunity to come. So we go to temples, and if there is no ritual there, will we go tomorrow? We will not go. From taking an agarbatti, in your own home, you may take an agarbatti and do 3 times. So the ritualism has become a shastra. It has become a scriptural level. It has gone, it has progressed in such a way. So it has been perfected to that extent. Mere rituals can lead to God realization. Just imagine. It is the lowest step in religious life, rituals. But then this very lowest step of religion can take you to the highest level of God realization. You can see how in the life of Sri Ramakrishna, he was a pujari in a Kali temple. He had no problem with the Kali, and he was born in a Vaishnava family. And though he was born in a Vaishnava family, for sake of stomach, for the sake of earning, his brother came to Calcutta and became a pujari of a Kali temple. And that Kali temple was built. Mother Kali's statue has come up. It is lying in the wooden case. That statue could not be installed because the Pandits in Calcutta went against that Rani Rasmani, who built that beautiful Dakshineshwar temple. They all went, said, you belong to a lowest caste. How can we work in your temple? We cannot work in your temple. So they said, then what is the way? Nobody knew what is the result. So that Ramakrishna's brother also was in the meeting. Nobody could say anything because the Pandits were vehement. They said, no, we will not work here. The temple is ready, getting ready for inauguration, and then the statue is lying there, and that statue one day appeared in the dream of Rani Rasmani, said, how long are you going to put me under this cage? When are you going to put me up in the temple? Mother Kali is asking her.
And Kali,
yes.
she saw.
And when she went to that, next day morning she went to the statue and opened the box, and she saw the drops of perspiration on Mother Kali's face. It is a statue, mind you. And she understood, oh, Mother Kali is real, and I must place her. And if she wanted to place, the Pandits are not cooperating. What to do? And her brother, that Ramakrishna's brother, came back home very sad on the day. So Ramakrishna was in the home. So he is called Gadadhar. He didn't have the name Ramakrishna at the time. He was called Gadadhar. So Gadadhar, Gadai for short, Gadai asked his brother, why you are so sad looking today? He said, no, I went to a meeting and Rani Rasmani has built a temple for Kali, and Kali's statue could not be put and inaugurated because the Pandits have boycotted. Why? Because Rani Rasmani belongs to the lowest class. Her caste was fisherman caste. She was born in a fisherman caste. And fisherman caste is considered as a very low caste. And in that low caste she was born. How she became Rani Rasmani, it's a very interesting story. And Rani Rasmani, this Rasmani girl, was born in a poor family of a fisherman folk. And she used to go with her parents as well as brothers to do the fishing, etc. in the river. But she was exceptionally beautiful black girl. And she was, though her color was black, but she was exceptionally beautiful. And this girl was one day moving around near the river, and the prince of that place, he was passing by the boat and he looked at this girl. Immediately he fell in love, and he told his parents, if I want to marry, I will marry that girl. The parents said, what? She is a fisher folk girl. You cannot marry a fisher folk girl. We have to take a girl from a Kshatriya Kula. Otherwise it's not proper. But he said, I don't care for anything. I love that girl, so I want her. So the parents have to go to the fisherman family and told her, my son wants to have your girl, so can you please give your girl's hand? The parents were not having 2 times proper food to eat. So poor they were. Catching fish, whatever available, and selling the fish only they could eat. Such was the condition of the family of Rasmani. And when they had this contact with the big Zamindar's son is coming and he wants her hand in marriage, they were so happy, so they gave. But even though she was born in a poor family, the parents used to call her with a pet name. Though she was the poorest of the poor, the pet name was Rani. Rani is a queen. How you call a most poorest person as a queen? But pet name can be had. Whether you are really queen or not, it doesn't matter. So you can keep a pet name. So they call, and really she became a Rani. When she married this Jamindar's boy, and she had all the wealth in her hands. Huge estates of property came into her hands. And her husband passed away at a young age, and she became the owner of all the property. And she was very dynamic, extremely dynamic. And she could go and fight with anyone. She had the Kshatriya blood, as it were. And she was so fond of protecting the poor people, the fisher folk people of that place where she hailed from. The commissioner of Bengal, he saw where the poor people are going and taking fish, capturing the fish, and they were selling. He put an order, if before selling, you must pay the tax for catching the fish. Now the river is for all. It's a public river. Nobody can say, this river is mine. Can you hold property rights on river? River cannot be had. So, but these people are going there and catching fish, and the fish doesn't come every day. When the production is high, when they come out, then only you can catch. Many times you don't catch anything. Those people who go to the riverside and sit for fishing, they know. Every day you don't get a fish. And with that meager fund, they were able to maintain their family, and he put a tax for that. So the people went and complained to Rasmani. So Rani went to that commissioner. And in a nice way they were talking, because she is Rani. So the commissioner gave her a nice seat and gave her a cup of tea, and then asked her, what do you want? You see, just I came to meet you only to take a portion of the river as for rent. Can you give me? He said, portion of river? The river is for all. Yes, I know that river is for all. The government doesn't own the river. So how can I give a rent to you? He said, no. See, this from this side to this side, I will take, say, about a few kilometers, 2-3 kilometers of river, of the Ganges river. And I want to take rent. That means nobody should come into that place without my permission. He was very happy because she is paying money for that, for the rent. She said, I will pay for you. Government doesn't have money, you say. Now I am getting you money. Why don't you give that? He agreed. So he immediately wrote an order that the 3 kilometers of Ganges was rented out to Rani Rasmani. Now Rani Rasmani came next day after the paper signed. And the commissioner's man was there to collect tax. He was sitting there. Said, get up and quit this place. You have no place to sit here. He said, why? Because this river portion belongs to me. And these people will take fish and then they will go and sell it and no tax can be levied. When the news reached commissioner, he was aghast. He said, what? What a terrible thing. That is how it is so. This lady is so clever. And he said, seeing her, then he called her and said, why did you make a play like this? He said, because poor people were taxed. I wanted to stop the tax. If I have told you to stop the tax, you won't do it because ego would be there. So I purchased the entire play, that portion of the river. He appreciated her concern for the poor and he withdrew the tax. And then it went off like this. So such was the lady, Rani Rasmani. She built a temple. Temple means for ritualism. That is the best place. So in that temple, Sri Ramakrishna's brother came and told that nobody is cooperating and the temple cannot be opened. Sri Ramakrishna says, ask Rani Rasmani to hand over the proprietary rights of the temple to Mother Kali. What she should do? She should write that I have built this temple, the property is mine, the temple is mine, the entire property, I am now putting it, Devadatta, it is called. You can hand it over to the temple deity.
Devatusha,
Sampatti. So you can hand it over to the temple deity. Then Rani Rasmani has got no claim on the temple rights. Well, it was, this brother heard it and he went and told Rani Rasmani, there is one way, mother, if you can shift the temple property rights. Thank you. Property rights to Mother Kali, then you have no rights, so nobody can say it is Rasmani's temple. What the Pandits say, let us ask. And when she announced this and gave her the property rights to Mother Kali, then Pandits heard it, and now Ram Kumar, the brother of Ramakrishna, he went and asked the Pandits, now what do you say? Won't you work there? It is Mother Kali's temple. Mother Kali is beyond all the caste. Then they agreed, okay, you yourself be the pujari there. They allowed him. So Ram Kumar came as a pujari to the temple, and to assist himself, he brought Ramakrishna there. And it was so beautifully inaugurated, and Ramakrishna came into the stage as if the stage was getting ready for Ramakrishna to enter the temple. Even now we feel that Rani Rasmani's Dakshineswar temple was built only for the purpose of Ramakrishna's arrival there and awakened the Mother Kali in the statue. She was already awakened, as you said, that Mother Rani Rasmani has seen. But on that day, after Ramakrishna was doing puja, Ramakrishna used to sit there and do the rituals puja. And he was not very happy. Why? He said, Mother Kali, you are in this statue, only in the stone. Or are you real? If you are real, why don't you show me that you are real? That is the best way of prayer, you see. Instead of becoming immediately an atheist, telling there is no God unless I have a proof. For there is no God, you say, what is the proof? You are asking me, you say there is God, you tell me a proof. And you are telling there is no God. When I ask you what is the proof, how will you prove there is no God? If the cup is not here, how will you prove that cup is not here? So, what is not, you cannot prove it. What is, you can prove it. So, the question comes in our mind that when Rani Rasmani made the temple, when Ramakrishna became a pujari, he started asking Mother Kali, people say, Ram Prasad says, Kamalakanta says, and other great saints have in the past said that Kali is. If you are, why don't you show me yourself? That is the best type of scientific inquiry, the mind of scientific inquiry Sri Ramakrishna had. He didn't reject. Somebody said, no, I won't believe. He didn't say. Okay, let me see. If you are real, then show me. And there he realized Mother Kali. So, mere spiritual development can be had even from the tradition of ritualism. By doing puja, Ramakrishna realized Mother Kali. So, Vivekananda asked much later, many years later, he asked in one of his lectures, what is the problem with the ritualism? You don't believe in ritualism, you criticize ritualism. So why do you criticize? If the rituals can make one person, Ramakrishna, to realize God in one life, so what is the problem with having ritualism? So rituals are always supported. In all our houses, when you are born as a Hindu or a Muslim or a Christian or to any religion, where these three are there, philosophy, mythology and ritualism. These three phases are there. That religious people you'll find they are all subjected to certain type of rituals from the beginning. Of course, the maximum rituals I find in Hinduism only. Whether good or bad, for we do not know, but you find from the day of birth onwards, the rituals start for a child. 16 samskaras. Some places 21 samskaras. So from cradle to grave, you will find plenty of samskaras are there. Rituals are there. So rituals help us to understand and grasp the highest philosophy through mythology. That's why we accept all the gods and goddesses. We give to sun, the Lord Sun also we give flower. We give flower to all the other gods and goddesses. Because through these things we cultivate our mind to little higher and higher and higher levels. So that we can grasp the highest philosophy of Vedanta or the Vedas, which say that what? What is the gist of Vedanta? Gist of Vedanta is you are divine.
So a child doesn't understand what a ritual is, but he's been asked to do the rituals.
Yes.
So how can they realize the highest truth?
Yes, because a child cannot understand the highest aspect of God.
Yes.
So what you do, so this mother, I saw her telling the younger boy, he was not willing to even sit and make pranam. But she told him, no, sit there. And father took the two hands and made him make pranam. So he is giving that boy a tradition from his family that how he to make pranam. So he made understand the pranam. The boy will now do it. Wherever he is taken to any puja, etc., after some years, say 2-3 years, like the elder boy, he came on his own case. He was not taught anything now. He was not compelled. But the younger boy was elected. But who is younger and who is... I am right?
Yeah,
he is younger, yes. So now you see, this boy, after 2 years, he need not be taught. He will do the same thing. Now, by doing this, now he will develop to your age. In your age, is there anybody need to tell you? You don't need. When you see any God pictures, you just go and make pranam on your own. Now, at what are you making pranam? When you make pranam to this picture, do you mean this painting?
Surrender.
You accept God is present everywhere. God is present here also, and He is manifesting this picture, so I make pranam. This idea you cannot put to that boy now.
Yeah.
Is it not?
True.
You have
so
to
that the thought starts with the ritual.
With the rituals. So once the ritual is perfected, once the boy starts doing this, at a later age when you explain to him, when he becomes 14, 15, 16, and that is a rebellious mood comes among the children, and they would not like to believe whatever you tell. At that time you give the reasons to them. Then they understand. Otherwise it won't catch. With the modern people I am finding, particularly those who are not in India, are steeped in the tradition, come out from India at a young age, and then they develop their family here. And for them, because they themselves do not know the ritual's significance, what they can teach the children?
He just now said when at the teenage, when they are very rebellious,
Yes.
you teach them. Teach what? I mean, the rituals, he has started doing the rituals
from childhood.
from childhood, and then
At 16th age,
yes,
the boy will say, no, I won't do it.
yes, yeah,
At that time, what answer you will give?
and you do it.
You do it, you say, but you can, how long you can command?
It's not exactly.
Yes. So you will say, no, I won't do it.
Yes.
What are you going to say? But if you tell him at that time,
Yes.
when he is in rebellious mood, at that time you explain to him the rationale of that. It catches him.
Because what do I tell him at that point? I mean, to convey.
Oh yes, yes. That to every the rituals has got one meaning.
Yes.
Which ritual you are referring to?
Say you say ritual. Say, I mean, you make pranam every day in the morning.
Yes.
For example.
That is, see, why you have to make pranam to everyone. I'll tell you one example. One boy like that, he asked his mother, you are asking me, the girl, asking me to light the lamp. Go to the puja room and light the lamp. The mother is telling her. She said, why you are asking me to light the lamp? You yourself do it because you believe in that. Because it's a ritual, you see. You do it. But I don't want to do it. So, the girl refused to light the lamp. She put a question to her mother. When the sun sets, it becomes dark. At that time, you do require light. When the sun rises, everything becomes so clear, bright. At that time, why do you require a light? You ask me to light the lamp in the evening, I can understand because it's getting dark, you want to light the lamp. But in the morning, sun is already rising, everywhere the light, what is the necessity of lighting a lamp? You are only wasting everything. Mother could not reply because she herself doesn't know. The lighting of the lamp is one ritual. It has got a particular significance. That is not explained to that girl. So I told her, now you tell your girl and explain to her, this is the reason why you are lighting the lamp. The lighting of the lamp is not for getting light in our rooms. Because sun is giving the light. We don't need that. But the lamp signifies your heart. Because you have been sleeping, you are in tamas. Tamas is darkness. And when you are getting up from the tamas, you are awakening, and that is, at that time, you require light in your heart. So, this is only a significant. After lighting the lamp, you can put it off also. When you go to school, you can just put it off. When mothers go for work, they put it off. They don't keep the lamp a whole day. So, you can put it off. But that is the significance you must think of. Like that, you should explain. In that case, at that time, it will catch. If you don't explain the ritual's significance, the rituals, he will go away from the rituals, and then after 30, 40 years, when he see in the society, others are doing and he is unable to do it, he is simply sitting, he would feel the heart's compunction, and he say, oh, I do not know, and I am unfit for this society. Like that he will start feeling, and that will bring him depression. So why we go into future problems? Why don't you take care in the early stage? So why don't you tell the significance of the rituals? What type of rituals is being done everywhere? So we have to learn that. And once we learn the rituals of puja, puja in gist is nothing but mixing your small soul, your individual jivatma as it is called, with the Paramatma. You are imagining that you are making oneness with the Supreme Atman, and which is inside in you. And I am not saying that's a mental puja. I told you that how to do that in English. I read it only for all of you to understand that. So mental puja is very important portion in the entire rituals portion. So there you simply sit and think that your chosen deity is coming in front of you. He is walking in front of you and getting into your heart. And there is a lotus flower, you see, here. Hridaya Kamala Madhye. There is a lotus flower here. This lotus flower, do you think Ramakrishna can sit on a lotus flower? It is ridiculous. Anybody sees it is just a poetic mind, that's all. An artist has done this. Really, nobody can sit on a lotus flower. That big flower, only in Mahabharata we get a sample of that flower. But not otherwise. So you don't see this type of flower. How a person can sit on that? So, What is the Hridaya Kamala Madhye? Hridaya, your heart becomes the Kamal, and in that Kamal, within that, your chosen deity is sitting. So like that we have to understand the rituals.
But there is a, if I am not mistaken, there is a big lotus in Brazil, rainforest.
Lotus leaf is there.
Leaf, yeah.
Not the lotus. I have seen, even Mauritius I have seen.
Ah.
One lotus leaf of this room size.
This, yeah. But the
2-3
flowers are
people
not
can-
big.
No, flowers are
Small.
in Mahabharata there is an incident that shows, that says Draupadi one day sees 1,000 petal lotus. She sees that and tells Bhima and Arjuna, go and get it for me. And both of them ridicules her. This is not available, this is only some magic. So don't believe in this. Like that they are putting off. She said, no, you must go and get it, otherwise today no lunch for you. So both of them go out, and then at that time only Bhima meets Hanuman, Yes. So the story goes like that. So it's a big lotus, only Mahabharata we have heard. But I have not seen such big lotus.
No, sorry.
Sometimes in the modern world attack the ritualistic aspect of life, saying that it is a little childish point of view. So
It is, when you go into a kindergarten what you learn.
yeah.
And that method of learning at the age of 18 is not proper. It's a childish one. Yes, it is childish. Nobody denies that. But at the same time, without going into kindergarten, how are you going to primary and higher secondary? So it has got a base. That, see, every aspect of religion, whether it is rituals, whether it is mythology, mythology you can criticize like that. So philosophy can be countered by another philosophy. So the danger is there in everything, but in all these three we can understand that yes, there are dangers, there are specific minds only can catch these things. Yes, it is true. But how do you progress? These are a great help to progress. If it is helping me to progress further, why not I keep that? Is the question. Yes, if you want to reject, you can reject. We say that. Yes, if you don't want to do it, don't do it. But if somebody says that it helps me, it's all right. You do that agarbatti. A simple ritual, I tell you. Agarbatti, you take it and you have to hold it like this. These two fingers and these fingers should touch. And then these two fingers should be kept out. And then holding the agarbatti, you show 3 times. 3 times. Not 4 times, not 2 times. So it is said 3 times you have to show. So when you say Om, Hari Om, Om, Shanti, 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 you say 3 times. Why 3 times? The question asked. Young men ask. Why 3 times? Why not 4 times? Why not 2 times? So the 3 times you have to explain. So there are 3 types of difficulties that we are every day getting. So to remove the 3 types of difficulties, we say 3 types of times Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. So Vedanta explains what are those 3 types of difficulties that you can have. All sufferings of humanity can be classified into 3. All types, any type of suffering, a person is having suffering, you take it and then analyze in which category you want to put A, B, C. You can put it. So what are those 3 classification of the sufferings? It's our sages, the great minds, they thought of the sufferings and they classified them. And classified the sufferings into 3. What are those 3 types? First is Adi Bhautika. The term is used, Adi Bhautika. Bhautika means physical. Any type of physical sufferings are there. Many types of physical sufferings. Recently I was going to get my visa extended, So in Dublin I went to visa office. And outside on the opposite side, I was walking on the platform. At that time there was a lot of, mud was there. So just to avoid that, I jumped over there and I slipped. And I fell down. And not this way or that way, straight like this I fell down. And the whole place, even that the small swelling still there. And the whole place was scratched. And blood was coming. And from the nose, blood was coming, bleeding. I kept my kerchief was drenched fully. And the people are going there, they stopped. They asked. One girl came, a college going girl, she stopped. Would you please have hot water? I said, hot water? I said, yes. Immediately took her from her bag a flask and then opened it and gave me. There was no glass, you see. She gave me, you take it like this. So I took it like that. I said, who are you? Said, I am from Bangalore. I saw you suffering. So I stopped and gave you this, she said. So people were so sympathetic and fell down. So this injury that happened, it is Adi Bhautik, because physical injury. The cause is physical and the injury that has happened to me is physical on my body. So Adi Bhautika. Like that we have got so many things. The best cook I have seen, while cutting vegetables, cutting the finger also. The best cook, they are supposed to be best cooks. This is Adi Bhautika suffering. Like that, if you classify the sufferings, the source is physical. Say you are going there, terrible wind comes and attacks you and you become cold at the time. You feel very cold and you get fever. It's a physical. Your body is affected by a wind, which is physical. A physical force. So all these things, when physic to physic it starts, then it is called Adi Bhautika. Then comes Adi Bhautika, then Adhyatmika. Adhyatmika means nothing physical. Okay. So, contrast to the Adi Bhautika, I am telling the Adhyatmika. Adhyatmika is not the second category, it's the third category. But unless you understand this Adi Bhautika, then you can understand better the Adhyatmika also. In Adhyatmika, there is no Bhautika, there is no physical sufferings. Say, a boy studying for the examination and he couldn't study well and he is sitting in the examination table and he couldn't do the examination well. He comes back and is very morose. Here, there is no Bhautika relationship. He was not beaten, he was not told by anybody, he was not hurt in any way. But mentally he is suffering. Mentally he is suffering. Anything that is nothing to do with physical, in physical hurting also I may mentally suffer. Is it not? If somebody beats me, I will say, see that fellow beat me. Mentally also I will be depressed. Okay. But there are, without any physical touch, there are certain mental sufferings that you get. Somebody speaks to you very badly, you are mentally suffering. There are so many other instances of that, where mentally you are suffering. Those things are called Adhyatmika. In between there is one more suffering, which is called Adi Devika. It is, in English, it is called act of God. In insurance, you say that act of God. Suddenly tsunami comes and 10,000 people are swallowed and all the relatives, those survivors, they are suffering. It is act of God which you have got nothing to say. You do not know why it happened. So, any suffering that comes to you, you can classify under the three. So, if you want Shanti, one time Shanti is not enough. So, it should be Shanti from the Adi Bhautika level, Adi Devika level, then Adhyatmika level. So, the three levels you require Shanti. So, we say Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti.
When someone's desire is not fulfilled, which suffering is that one?
Adi Devika. No, that is Adhyatmika. Adi Devika is act of God. That means you have no control. A boy failing in the examination, he had full control on his studies. He didn't study well. You see.
No, so for example, his desire was to become a big leader or rule the country or something.
Yes.
That was his desire. Just as imagination.
Yes.
And he did not become the Prime Minister of the country. So which suffering is
This is
that?
Adhyatmika. Anything which Nothing to do with the mental. It's Adhyatmika.
But why we use these three fingers?
That's a good question. I was expecting someone will ask that question. That's why I will not tell unless somebody asks that question. Thanks for asking the question. See, you caught that. Why you are using? Today when offering was done to the Lord, I was telling pranaya swaha, apanaya swaha, dhyanaya swaha, udanaya swaha, samanaya swaha. 5 types of pranas are there. We have got one prana shakti we say. The prana is divided according to its activity. It is divided into 5 categories. So one of the category is vyana. Vyana means when you eat, the food eaten is digested and as energy it goes the entire part of the body. When it is digested, that energy becomes oxygen and then oxygen is taken to all parts of the limbs of the body. Can you say that my digested energy becoming oxygen does not go to my finger or to the toe? It doesn't have anything. It has to go everywhere. The whole entire body it will be moving. That is called jhana. So when you are using that agarbatti and agarbatti is now burning and you are showing 3 times shanti, shanti, shanti 3 times. So move 3 times and you are holding this. This is called jhana mudra. Yes. So this mudra is representing all spreading everywhere. That is called this mudra. So whatever you want to spread it everywhere, you have to hold it like this.